Right, OD comes out. Beastmaster for Faith Bian is the response. Looks like we've got ourselves a Sylar, Nature's Prophet. Things getting real interesting over here. EHOME against RNG. This is game 1. Our first series. It's a best of 3 for the minor qualifiers. WePlay minor coming up. Not too long, not too far away now. It feels like TI was only yesterday, you know? We were waiting so long for the patch hits, and now all of a sudden we've got so much Dota to watch. It's beautiful. How are you feeling about these drafts? EHOME seem to have a lot of kind of split push, single target pickoff. Their team fight's decent. RNG very focused around Void and OD. They're 2 cores.
Yeah, I'm looking at the team fight that RNG got with Faceless Void, Elder Titan. It's an old school combo that still works even after the nerfs to Faceless Void. You have OD to throw in some damage, and it's also Beastmaster into Omni Knight. So, like, he needs to be the target because he'll just use his Heavenly Grace, status resistance on top of it. It's a strong dispel. Really hard to play against. And also, it's an OD against you. So you have this built-in save.
Yeah, a couple of the saves as well. You know, a homing missile comes, you've got potentially the save from the OD and the Omni Knight to back you up. Let's get ourselves into game overlays on. Oh, let's have a look at that. Yeah, Gosu AI. Pop yourselves over to that if you want to find out if your Skywrath mage teammate or enemy was cheating or scripting. Gosu AI can probably figure it out for you and get rid of that image and get ourselves locked and loaded as EHOME are waiting in their base with Clockwork and Nature's Prophet. What are they up to? What are you waiting for?
Maybe they didn't wake up on time, so they're just sleeping. Yeah, it's really early. Maybe not for China though.
So there was
a couple of hours ahead.
That is true. What are they? 6 hours ahead? So it's like midday.
6 hours, yeah.
11 a.m. or midday or something.
What do you think, Gary, about the Stout Shield? Like, you have so much gold, especially on the melee heroes.
It's
like,
so good. I've just been in all my pubs, like one of the silent supports buys Buckler, one of the silent supports buys Bassi, and then you're good, you're sorted, you're ready to go. Oh, I was going to ask you though, speaking of Stout Shield and block mechanics, the recent change with player units not being blocked by the passive block. Beastmaster with the boars, does that affect him? Does he just get more damage now? Was that a big buff to Beastmaster?
Yes, exactly.
Very powerful.
I had to think there for a second. There were too many changes.
Yeah.
You know?
It's wild. It's real wild out here. 2 for 2 bounty rune exchange. Pretty standard stuff. So let's have a look. Silos up top. They're TPing a Clockwork here. Y will join in. Treants just, you know, AFK, minding their own business, getting on with their lives. September with Flywin up in this top lane. Rubik and Omni Knight. A pretty weird laning combination, Rubik Omni, but with the range of Rubik and the sustain of Omni Knight, they should be able to do a decent job against this Nature's Prophet.
Yeah, I don't think they care too much about Treants in this lane. You have Fade Bolt to reduce the damage he uses immediately. You have Sustain coming out from Omni Knight as well. I don't think there's too much kill threat coming out from EHOME.
Oh, bottom lane. Oh, that's so much damage on Super. They had the double boar and that tag team going. Tag team not, you know, getting procced, of course, by the boars. Only Tusk units get that good stuff. But still, Super... You want your ET to be forward and hitting people. This melee versus melee lane. And now ET is kind of sat back, waiting behind tower, wondering what he's meant to do with his life.
Yeah. Jin Q, he blocked the small camp just by body blocking it.
Very
so it's
nice.
less damage coming out from Astral. They can't pull, which means they need to trade hits. There's a lot of slow in that bottom lane from Boars coming out from tag team.
Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous. Just straight away, Super taking the pummeling. Monet trying to give us back as good as he gets. Jinkyu and Faith Bian, plenty of regen here for both of these sides. Salves, tangos. Yeah, there's a salve popped out by the ET now. He'll back up. And of course, with the updated couriers, he can just bring out a bit more regen, get a sentry down. He's looking for this ward, but there isn't one. Jinkyu is, like you said, just body blocking it. There isn't an obs ward, so that is money wasted by the ET and forced by EHOME. Oh, see.
Here it goes. First courier, no GPM for you.
There goes the courier. Setsu takes it. Yeah, no GPM, and also, did Gyro get items off it? He needs more regen, that's for sure. He's only got one tango left, and I've missed first blood, of course I have. Faith Bian gets away from the tower.
Yeah, you mentioned that the Elder Titan is usually one of those guys who loves to play against the double melee lane, but in this scenario, it's not really good for him. He has Faceless Void who can't be that active early on, and there's the triple slow from Boars, you have Orb of Venom, and Tag Team. So if he gets close, if he's in a bad spot, he's definitely just gonna straight out die.
He's tanky, but he's not tanky enough to deal with both of them. Y does get a nice pull across. Oh man, I'm just my eyes flicking from mid lane to bot lane. It's all getting a bit spicy. Nothing to say. Does push forward onto Setsu. Gyrocop to get some good damage in with a rocket barrage. Looks like OD will be just fine. Even turns to get some hits in.
This patch is really pain in the ass to spectate because you're gonna miss so many career kills.
You shut your damn mouth. I'm gonna catch them all.
I'm giving you an excuse, Gary.
Thank you, bless you, Lacoste. Yeah, it is 6 o'clock in the morning. We are awake, but we may miss some things. So with the way the lanes are going here, Omni Knight top of the pops in CS, 22-3. Looks like a win for RNG top lane.
Oh, the double bash.
Of course it is, and Jin-Q might actually be in a spot of bother himself. Doesn't look like they've got the catch. If they got another bash there, maybe they consider finishing him off. I'm going to keep my camera down bottom lane. That's where all the action's happening. I'm going to ignore top now.
Yeah, what about mid lane? Alright, never mind.
Setsu.
Double damage for Gyro. It's going to be some good harassment, but he needs to have flat cannon available.
Very low OD. Does salve back up. Tons of nulls and wraith bands. All these early game items being grabbed up by everyone just to try and leverage a little bit of power.
Well, there's no stout shield. You need to buy something, right?
Yeah, you need to spend your gold. Bounty runes in 30 seconds, so now we're going to start to see the pressure come. Lane's getting shoved out. Bottom lane consolidated by RNG as they bring Rubik here to try and lift up Faith Bian back into the waiting arms of Monet and Super. Quick whack down on him, and that should be at least one, if not two, bounties down south. Jin-Q may consider trying to grab this one, but with no ice shards, he's got 0, 1, 2. Trying to max out that tag team early on. He's not going to go for the snowball play here, is it? Of course he is. He goes in, doesn't quite grab the rune, but he's tanky enough and full HP, so he should be able to just back away.
Yeah, we don't care about the 5-minute mark anymore. We need those 2 extra minutes on the timer. This is when fun begins.
The creeps, the neutral items. Y did get spotted, slipping in behind the tier 1 middle lane. Ob's ward goes down. Jin-Q gets scouted by the ward as well. Setsu has already astraled, and they've TP'd in the Nature's Prophet. That's a good amount of damage control onto Setsu, and OD's fallen. Super with a 4-man stomp cannot stop this absolute inordinate amount of damage coming in from that rotation of EHOME. And now, are they pushing with Catapult Wave at 5 minutes? Oh, this is glorious.
Do some damage. That's a Blightstone on Nature's Prophet. Lowers their armor by 2, but yeah, Catapult. They can't really fully commit since you're playing against Rubik and Elder Titan, which are one of the 2 best heroes to defend the towers. Region Rune on bottom.
It did leave the Void alone bottom.
Oh, what a timing. He cancels the Region Rune immediately with the rocket.
By accident, right? He was scouting for the rune, but very fortunately, he knew. It's Y. What am I saying? It's Y. He knew. Interesting ward there as well by Y. Straight outside the road.
Interesting build by Clockwork there.
Well, brown boots. That's fine. Quelling Blade to deward. Quelling Blade is super cheap now, and I was advocating support of Flywind. Might actually just fall here. They've got the tag team, the Sprout, cut into the trees, Clockwork. That's why he has a Quelling Blade, hey? To cut into the trees. Get in there and help out Sylar. But yeah, like, even a year ago, I was saying, hey, support Warlocks, AA, Clockwork, Spirit, whoever you are, especially if you're melee. Ogre, buy Quelling Blade. If you get a sentry, you can deward high ground. Easy peasy.
Did they start listening?
Well, Ice Frog made Quelling Blade cheaper, so yeah, now now people have started listening. Of course. Oh, stomp into mid. Astral on cooldown, but September's here with a lift, drag back. Nothing to say, throws the big old cooldown in. 3 men hit, but Flywind's here to save them up. September caught with a snowball shard. Jinkyu, he actually goes straight on deep in, and he's killed off too. Jinkyu with a double. Setsu not quite trapped in the trees. The Treants are Sylar, unable to block out the OD, and Monet's rotation with Chrono not going to be able to do anything.
Oh, the rotation. Only 2 points in time walk. He already used it on the bottom lane because Fate Beyond was harassing him, so he could not initiate with the time walk, sadly. I mean, it's a free Omni Knight game. Like, he had an extremely good time on the top lane, is level 6, so they need to be careful. They have these multiple built-in saves. You have Faceless Void with the time walk. You have Omni Knight with 2 saving abilities. Same goes for OD. I mean, not 2, but extra 1. So it's really hard to fully commit by EHOME. But that was a really early level 6 coming on from Nature's Prophet. And the big ulti on the mid lane, which dealt enormous amount of damage.
Yeah, nothing to say now. Just shoving out the mid lane. Needs to keep his farm rate up. Because it seems like EHOME going for a pretty heavy timing here. Nature's Prophet with treads into drums. Drums very nearly completed now. Faith Beyond. I saw him with a broadsword and I was like, hang on a second, what the... What, oh yeah, it's Helm of the Dominator. Faith Beyond's going to have the helm up soon.
First item drop, poor man's shield for our boy Faceless Void. This is the item that you wanted to have before. Gives them agility, we all know what PMS does.
And Gyro gets the item that isn't spelt correctly. It should be double O, not OA in Brooch, by the way, Valve. Just to let you know.
Yeah, this item came from Underlords, right?
Faded I'm not sure. I don't recognize it. I know the Helm of the Undying definitely did. I'm not sure about Faded Brooch. I hear a Prophet ulti. Yes, bottom lane, you're right. Monet. He's not going to throw Chrono. He has that beautiful stomp from Super to reset the initiation of EHOME.
Yeah, let's say that PMS kept him alive there, even though we didn't see what happened.
Definitely the PMS. That's what keeps on. Look, even the ET has a Quelling Blade. I love it. Absolutely love it. Beautiful stuff.
Good. I mean, it's kind of must-have item to devord quicker, but it's not that great of a value anymore for the supports because people were stealing your observer wards before when you planted a sentry, but now it gives you the gold anyway.
Yeah.
But still, the enemies can't deny it, so you instantly kill it. All right, bounties.
3 heroes bottom for EHOME. Get the outpost. Still
1-1.
Should be a 2 for 2, right?
I was talking about outposts, but yeah,
sorry,
my bad. It's 2 for 2.
Outposts more important, of course. Chrono bottom. Monet. On to Sylar, but they've got the snowball to try and delay this push forward from RNG. The bashes clear up Jinkyu. They do defend under their tier 1. And most importantly, this catapult wave coming in from EHOME not going to get themselves that tower push. So now EHOME, they've got 2 choices here. They either reset or they go all in, and it looks like they're going all in on this tier 1.
Yeah, it's really hard for them to defend. They already used the Chronosphere, 2 points in Inner Beast, Blightstone, Catapult, and some Treants will do the trick for them. Nothing to say, he is in, but there's no follow-up.
He's clipped this snowball September. He's bought himself some time. Lift up, but it's not enough. Doesn't still die. Good roar in, kills off the ET, and Monet will jump away with a time walk, but nothing to say. Still has his number. Sprout is up. Monet, time walk. How long have we got? 5 seconds. Faith Biani wants in, and that homing missile might just be able to get them a kill, but no! Flywin heals him back up. Monet's fine. Still has time walk, and Faith Bian is in way too deep. They thought they had the void locked under, and it looks like Setsu with the Astral. TP in from Super. Gather themselves a nice little grab onto Faith Bian.
And Monet gets the last hit. It's so hard to play Faceless Void in this patch. I mean, the cooldown is 160 instead of 140. It's definitely the worst scaling ability in the game. Click on it, Gary.
160 cooldown. It goes up in mana cost.
0.5
0.5 second duration every level. Oh, yikes, man. Y has hit level 6, so we're looking for clockwork hook shots. to be your primary form of initiation here for EHOME. Observer Ward does give vision over on September, but they've found the Super Elder Titan instead. Quick little battery assault in, but the Astral there from Setsu. That multi-layered saving mechanism here they've got beautifully played out, and Super, oh, he doesn't quite get the stomp down. Jinkyu has given up his life for just one kill, and it's a trade that RNG will take any day of the week. Oh, maybe not. Flywin bottom has been picked off by Sylar and nothing to say. So EHOME playing 2 supports top to kind of bait RNG in, and then 2 cores bottom to get the big kill that they wanted.
Yeah, some action started to happen. Let's see what Faceless Void got. Iron Talon and Poor Man's Shield. My boy's ready to jungle for the next 40 minutes.
Oh my god. I was taking a sip of my coffee when the Iron Talon got picked up, and my brain was just like, oh my god, he's got PMS Iron Talon. How could this be any more perfect? Monet's probably giggling to himself as RNG currently prepping for a tier 1 top. Not bringing everyone up here, though. They still need to defend that mid tower as well. It's such a kind of not a difficult place, but an awkward place to be in. You want to finish off top tower because it's 500 HP. It's pretty quick, but you can't just let this Dire team have mid tier 1 for free. Are they just letting them have mid tier 1?
Seems so. I mean, look at their positioning.
They do get the trade.
I'm kind of surprised that OD's not going for Force Staff. Like, it's the best item you can have against all these heroes. Clockwork, Tusk, Beastmaster, you can push people out of the Sprout, Cogs, Beastmaster, Roar. It's definitely a must-have item on him.
What's the Omni building? He's going straight pipe. I was wondering maybe if... Rubik's rushing Force Staff, so they'll have 1 at the very least. But I think you're right. It definitely needs that Force Staff at some point. We've definitely seen... Oh, hang on a second. In this Radiant jungle, Cogs are there to kind of block the path of RNG. Monet will get himself out of dodge, but they turn to fight into the clock. Why? In a serious amount of trouble because he's given away hookshot. September there with the steal, the snipe, the kill, and everything in between. Still under vision.
They didn't have enough burst damage to kill Faceless Void. They were correctly positioned on the high ground, had a sentry ward to see his invis, but no real lockdown. They needed either a Beastmaster or some damage coming out from Gyro. Faded Brooch on one team and on the other one as well. Do we have anything else? Neutrals?
I don't think we've seen anything new. We have the PMS Iron Talon, the Faded Brooch. Dire team only has 1, right? They've not had their 2nd or 3rd from that tier 1. Spending a lot of time pushing lanes, it seems.
Here it comes.
Clumsy net for Setsu. Nether Shawl for nothing to say. Nether Shawl, that's the magic... Wait, is he giving it away to someone? Yeah, there it is on the Tusk. Magic resistance, spell damage. Reduces the armor a little bit. It's all fine and dandy. So that early game for EHOME, it's gone okay. It hasn't been spectacular by any means. But they are still kind of ramping up. They've got these auras going. They're buying into very efficient items. Maelstrom, BKB. And they really do want to just keep these lanes shoved out and then go for smoke plays like this. You push out the waves, you open the map up, and you force errors from your opponent, which is why right now RNG are playing so tight around the Void. They want to utilize Chrono, and it looks like they might have just picked off this Prophet. Quick little move onto Sylar. 3 heroes in. Sylar down. Hookshot out from September. Still having it stolen from the clock. And Jinkyu, he's trapped in between a couple of Radiant heroes. Nothing to say with the call down of the Shrine, but Monet's forward, aggressively onto the Tusk. A couple of bashes, very lucky there, and Jinkyu is about to drop. Quick time walk forward, whack him down, and you're gone. Roar is on the OD. And this is Beastmaster. He's just got to bail away. He can't continue forward. And EHOME yet again, just lacking the numbers as RNG bring everybody to the battle.
Yeah, this is not where you want to take a fight. Like, you're fighting near the Shrine, Clockwork. Try to go in onto Omni-Knight, who's extremely tanky, has a full pipe finished. There's no way you're killing him, especially with all these saves that they have. And if Rubik steals a snowball, yeah, why doesn't care at this point? He is just a position 5 Clockwork.
Yeah, it was an awkward one. EHOME they've got double wards down. They were playing into vision. That's great. That's fine. They were playing towards their profit. That's great. That's fine. But they were just like 10 seconds too slow. RNG just got a little ahead of them, found that profit catch, used the chrono, and you could see EHOME kind of trickling into the fight and then getting caught at the shrine. Even with that smoke, they weren't able to get down to that bottom lane in time. And mid lane, OD still just trying to shove it back into that dire tier 1. And Faith Beyond again spotted by Radiant Obs wards. Vision is there for RNG, and Setsu, he's going to get found by the Centaur. Astral dodges Stomp, and a Stomp from Super. Stomp on Stomp. What do we got stolen? Hawk. Nice. Ribbit can give them even more vision.
I thought you were going to say stolen Stomp. Yeah, this Centaur Conqueror is extremely good neutral creep right now, because it went from 22nd to 12. So Helm of the Dominator, probably the best creep you can get.
Chain those stuns with a roar into stomps as well. And here is, the primary strength of EHOME's draft. Get a pick off, get a nice little play, make a move into towers, force your opponents onto one side of the map, and then, exactly as I was saying it, you TP to the other, you play table tennis, you play ping pong, you play badminton, whatever it is, shove them to one side of the court, and then you play the other. Tire your opponents, waste their TPs. Something that Nature's Prophet is pretty good at is waving his hands in the air like a madman, saying, hey, look at me, come and deal with me. I'm pushing your lanes, I'm pretty squishy, but you have to bring numbers to deal with me.
I'm a bit worried for EHOME's lineup that it's not gonna scale. I feel like they're on the timer. You're playing against Elder Titan and Faithless Void, plus an OD. I mean, OD got reworked, but it's still great hero. The thing about Nature's Prophet, who is a core, whether he's being played as position 1 or 3, he always feels like you need another item. Like, no matter how farmed you are, like, you still need that BKB, then you need something else. But the global presence that they have is good. Like, you have Clockwork, who can initiate from far away, follow it up with the Nature's Prophet TP, and just have, or showing one hero on the lane. It's a great gank setup for you.
EHOME trying to play into their vision again. And why? Very, very correctly guessing, or assuming they have high ground vision, seeing them all coming in. And yet again, it is a pretty hard commitment onto this tier 2 down bot. 5 heroes here, they back up immediately as soon as they see TPs coming in, so that commitment, it scatters to the wind as quickly as it came. EHOME not interested in fighting head on into this Radiant lineup whatsoever. But it's the same move again. They push down bottom, they TP top, they keep Sylar farming. And now it's kind of up to RNG to make the plays. They are the ones in control, they can make the moves, and straight onto Clockwork they'll go. Why? Gonna get bashed up, cleared up, and tier 1 tower mid should be up for sale. RNG gonna try and grab that one at a bargain, as there's no defense from EHOME whatsoever.
Yeah, Monet's slowly getting out of control. You have multiple layers of save on your side. There's no burst damage coming out from EHOME, and he also has a BKB for him. I don't think this Faceless Void is gonna die, but one thing I want to see is his Aghanim Scepter. Like, that's one of the most funny ones we've seen reworked or added.
Oh, Solitary Cedar Tree. Well, Twitch chat is beautiful, If you open shop and you go to neutrals, you can see the neutral items that have been acquired.
Oh, I thought you knew that, Gary.
I didn't, honestly. I'm just, like, clicking on heroes, like, oh, let's see what they got.
Just kidding. I noticed it a couple of hours ago when I was watching EG's game. Man, I didn't sleep at all. I slept for, like, 3 hours.
Yeah, same. My plan was to go to bed last night at, like, 10:30, and I was like, oh, it's 1 a.m. Shit. What's happened here? Mistakes made. Smoke from EHOME. They are making a lot of these kind of sweeping, very, very grand plays. They're bringing all the numbers. They're trying to make sure they get outposts. It is a little bit late for that top one, but they'll still have it. But in the driving seat, RNG.
Gary, that's called preparing for the next one. Like if you're late, 10 seconds for the outpost, you're just preparing for the next one.
You're not late, you're just early for the second cycle. Man, you're an optimist, Lacoste. BKB coming up for Sylar. Oh, there's smoke from RNG though. They've actually gone super deep into the jungle. Telekinesis grab onto Y. Nice cogs in between the lift and the stomp. But with the clumsy net from Rubik, oh, that's a good shard. Xingqiu might have just saved Y. He can hookshot out if he needs, but he's going to turn and hookshot the Void instead. Cogs back up in 3, but the two-man chrono from Monet. Straight on top with the Earth Splitter. OD damage forward, and Xingqiu, he's going to snowball to buy some time, but the bashes are there. Setsu with a double kill, and Roshan now open for RNG.
Yeah, they got only 2 supports, but it's still worth it for them. They're going to go into Roche Pit. Y doesn't even have a buyback, he just got it. If he wants to do so,
he's got no hookshot though.
He does not have it. Yeah. I think this is gone. They can't really contest it.
Absolutely no way. So nothing to say, he's going to clear out mid-wave. They've got Faith Bian scouting. He has Blink, he has Necrobook. Do you think they're going to try this? They've got Rocket Flare and they've got Blink from Beastmaster. Oh, hang on a second. Sylar, very, very close to death. Toying with the fact that he wanted to go in. And speaking of going in, Gyrocopter has just walked into the pit. Nothing to say, has fallen. Bites back immediately. They've delayed the Roshan. He's not dead just yet. Sprout and Astral holding that OD in place, but he blinks away with a Walrus Punch up. There's Monet. Turns and fights with the BKB. The cooldown there onto Flywin. Zoning out the rest of RNG. They've dropped Y, and nothing to say. He's got nowhere to run, nowhere to hide. He's gonna die. His BKB, it is used, but he's got a beasting of life. Gets to the shrine and somehow survives as Roshan is wondering what's going on in his front lawn. There are 10 heroes battling and making a ruckus. All sorts of noise with a snowball forward. Monet's gonna get stunned. There's a massive Sandy's Eclipse as Setsu removes the threat. Roshan and they just grabbed by the Void. And that's Gyro gone again. EHOME decimated in the pit. RNG stamp their mark on this game. 18-9, and it seems like it's a one-way street from here on out.
Yeah, it really looks RNG right now. It was really hard for them to take that fight because even with the Chrono being down, Elder Titan didn't have ult. Look at the amount of the sustain that they got. Like, you can't really fully commit to anything. If you roar someone, there's going to be at least one kind of save coming up, either a Force Staff or Astral. So it's really hard to actually get a target. They need to spread them around, maybe play a bit more for split pushing since they have this global presence. You have Beastmaster with the Necrobook 1, with the auras, with the blink. So I think that's the play that you want to go for because right now you can't just 5 versus 5 fight against what RNG got.
Yeah, it's so rough. And you know, having Aegis on Void is always a great thing, but it's even more so in this game. It kind of compounds the issues that you're explaining there. The fact that Void has Aegis means that he is never a target, and that means that, you know, Rubik, Omni Knight, ET, they can focus 100% on saving OD. So that means, you know, Beastmaster, Clockwork, Tusk, these initiating heroes that are, you know, pretty good at getting in on top of people, just cannot find a target unless it's Omni Knight in these engagements. And Omni has a Solar Crest and a Pipe completed. He's got 2 massive whacking items that are going to keep him and his team sustained and pushing as they go for tier 2 bottom. With a
Omni went for 90 damage. Like, he's the damage dealer right now. 250 per hit. And if you add Solar Crest on top of that,
he's the carry now. Where's his SNY Radiance, Lacoste?
Yeah, that's not Hector.
Wait, has he done that? Has Hector done a Omni?
Yes, he did. Carry Omni Knight.
Oh, I love it.
They lost the game, though.
This patch?
Previous one.
Okay. That used to be one of my favorite Dota 1 builds. Just SNY Radiance on it. Why? He's, like you said before, he's a pos 5 clock. He's going in, looking for maybe an Observer Ward, a cheeky smoke pop, giving information to his team. Dead for 30 seconds, no big deal, because they're going to be defending high ground one way or the other. Blink Dagger nearly up for Xingqiu. So Tusk will unlock the ability to potentially save people up, but when he's being jumped like this, I don't know how they saw him. Oh, the vision. That's how. They've got high ground wards. Jinkyu snowball towards Monet. Not going to do too much. Foregone conclusion, really.
This might be the beginning of the end for the EHOME in this game. This Faceless Void at the moment just feels unkillable. Look at the amount of heal. Also has Paladin Sword, so some extra lifesteal and the damage for him.
Sylar just trying to push bottom as Monet gets a ton of damage onto that poor little Y Clockwork. Not going to be able to finish him off just yet. He actually time walks aggressively just to grab that kill, but in comes the Roar, taking Omni out of the fight for a little bit. Setsu has actually been shredded. His 9x godlike streak gone. A just dropped. What do they got left of the tank? A hook shot from Y is ready if they want to go in more, but Beastmaster's dead. Clockwork already having brought back. Monet has Chrono. Lots of difficult things to fight into here. Omni with a pipe ready. And Super still has his full combination to go on that ET. Tier 3 about to drop. Walrus punch forward. Monet getting focused. Chrono's there onto 2. The damage is insurmountable here. Gyro falls. Down you go. Sylar about to drop as well. BKBs and dips behind his tier 4s. Nice cogs from Y. Traps a couple inside, but Monet so bloody strong. He's going to whack around on these barracks a little more as 4 heroes from RNG still up and running. And EHOME, with only Sylar remaining, cannot defend this base alone.
And that was a big-ass Chrono. Caught 2, even Sylar decided to walk in. 1 set of Raxes gone. Actually, just the melee ones, but their team fight is way too strong. Like, Gyro uses a flag cannon, they decide to go in, and the Omni is just gonna pop the Guardian Angel. Like, he is the target, but the thing is, if Beastmaster uses the Roar, how do you kill him? If there's an OD sitting behind him, there's some stuns, there's the Chronosphere, you can't really fully commit at this point.
Yeah, it's a very specific set of circumstances. Like OD uses Astral aggressively, and then you go and Roar, but they've stunned up the Rubik, and then what? Flywind's going to save him up. Doesn't keep him alive. Not perfect there, as EHOME look to battle around their shrine, and Omni Knight will be the second target of choice. Sylar with a double kill. They've lost 2 melee barracks, 1 mid, 1 bottom. They do get a couple of exit kills as RNG fall back from that push. But RNG are in such a commanding position now, they've not lost, really any damage on their base. There's a DD rune top. Next cycle of Roshan in 2 minutes. Potentially there for him to respawn. And we've never seen EHOME, actually been able to take a fight.
Yeah, they can try to go for some split push game. They still have Clockwork with the 4 points. In Rocket Flare, you have Nature's Prophet, who's high level, so he can push out the waves with his ultimate, level 23. Once he gets to that level 25, he can be anywhere on the map. That's going to be a full AC on him.
Bloodstone OD, let's freaking go.
He needs mana pool.
Yeah, he really does since the changes, and especially with Kaya building into Bloodstone now, it's such a kind of perfect item transition. Kaya into the big mana pool of Bloodstone. You've got Lincoln Sphere to save you from Roar, from Snowball, and all that nasty stuff. And then he's actually going to head into Aghanim Scepter next on the OD. It's still 2 Astral Charges, right? Did they add anything else?
That's it.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it. They didn't
still
change.
Very good. Going to tank him up.
He has a Lincoln Sphere for himself, so like he can get roared. Someone needs to pop that Lincolns, and then you have a hero who can save 2 targets at once.
Clockwork with Helm of the Undying. The death delay on Y. He is in a very nice position here to pop the smoke. Buyback is ready. He'll probably not need to use it. He's in such a place. And he's going to catch them 1 versus 5. There's no way Y escapes from this, right? He can try and hookshot away to creeps or something, but he's dead now. He for sure is super dead. 45 seconds.
Remind me, Gary, to test the Helm of the Undying with the Raid King's Ags.
Okay. Have you seen it with Legion Commander? I don't know if they fixed it yet, but I've seen multiple wins from one duel.
Well, that definitely needs to be fixed.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. Pretty funny. Last outer tower. Tier 2 top, easy as you like from RNG. And they are doing this very systematically. They're not even like damaging ranged racks. They are so hyper-focused on killing tier 3, killing melee racks. Very, very disciplined from the Radiant side. Immediate blink Astral there, and a jump in from Void. Monet focusing the Nature's Prophet. Even chucking Chrono onto him, but the targeting isn't there. They've used Guardian Angel in the back. Sylar, he's going to be saved up by the Royal Faith behind the cogs. In onto Monet and Flywind. Jump forward yet again from the Void. He's looking for Sylar, but the TP out. Sylar's going to survive. Oh, RNG didn't focus him down quick enough. Nothing to say is dropped, and Setsu with a double kill. Looking for a little more as RNG forces the buyback of the Gyro. Clockwork doesn't have one. And Monet, he is deep in behind enemy lines. But they'll yet again focus on those objectives. Tier 3 up at the top lane. Hello, Sylar. He's gone straight into the middle of all of them. BKB finally comes out, but he's already half HP, and he's being bashed up. Again bashed up. And Sylar, he's trying to make his way to the high ground, but it's all too little too late, or is it?
Okay.
My God, he's super tanky, but he's still going to fall. Monet is an absolute beast in this game. Jinkyu is going to feel the wrath of RNG, and nothing to say, trapped inside the Sprout and the Treants and all this nonsense all surrounding him. Setsu with another double kill. Mega streak. Sylar's got the right clicks, but the GG is being called.
Yeah, the superior team fight coming out from RNG. You have this Omni Knight, and I think I've said multiple abilities to save your teammates like 6 times already, but it's what you need to have. Like, this is how the end of the previous patch was played, and having one of these 3 big healers slash like team fighting heroes like an Omni Knight, a Legion Commander, a Baron, someone that has a built-in save, heal. It's like he's so tanky, and if you, I really didn't like EHOME's lineup because they can't burst anyone down.